Trisha Yearwood has always been known as a strong, honest, and down-to-earth woman, the kind of person who speaks from her heart and never hides from the truth. So when she began sharing personal stories about her husband, country music superstar Garth Brooks, many fans were surprised. People often assume they know everything about Garth because he had been famous for decades, but Trisha explained that there's a side of him the world almost never sees. Before revealing these truths, it helps to understand who Trisha is and how she became the person who knows Garth better than anyone. Trisha was born on September 19, 1964, in a small Georgia town called Monticello. Her parents raised her with kindness, discipline, and love. Her father was a banker who worked hard and believed in serving his community, and her mother was a school teacher who loved music and encouraged Trisha to use her voice. Their home was full of love, laughter, and learning, and an atmosphere shaped Trisha into someone who respected others, stayed grounded, and stayed focused on her dreams. As a child, she was always singing. Family members would talk about how she could fill a room with her voice even at a young age. She joined choirs, took part in school plays, and performed at local events. Each small experience helped her grow more confident. But Trisha didn't only love music. She was also practical and thoughtful. She liked learning. She liked structure. And for a while, she even considered a more traditional career path. After high school, she spent time thinking about her future and ended up making a surprising choice. She joined the United States Air Force. For 4 years, she served at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. She learned discipline, teamwork, and perseverance, skills that later helped her survive the pressures of the music industry. When she finished her service, she knew she wanted to return to music, so she went to Young Harris College, a small school in Georgia, where she earned her associate degree. She did well in her classes and became part of an honor society. Afterward, she tried the University of Georgia, but the campus felt too big, too crowded, and she realized she needed a different path. Trisha decided to chase music with full commitment, and that decision changed her life forever. She moved to Nashville, where she took an internship at MTM Records. This job allowed her to see how the music world worked behind the scenes. She answered phones, ran errands, helped in the studio, and watched producers and artists create songs. During this time, she recorded demo tapes for other artists and sang background vocals. Her voice stood out, smooth, strong, and full of emotion, so people in Nashville started to notice her. One day, she was asked to sing backup vocals for a rising country artist named Garth Brooks. Garth was not yet a superstar, but he was working hard and dreaming big. When the two met, they became instant friends. They respected each other's talent and shared a similar work ethic. Garth told Trisha that when he became successful, he would help her get a record deal. For many people, that would sound like a simple promise, but Garth kept his word. Not long after, she was introduced to producer Garth Funders, who helped her develop her sound. In 1991, she released her first album, and it was a huge success. Her debut single, She's in Love with a Boy, went straight to #1. The album sold more than 1 million copies. Overnight, Trisha became a major name in country music. She earned awards, praise, and respect from fans and critics. She continued releasing hit albums throughout the 1990s, proving that she was here to stay. Even while her career grew, her friendship with Garth stayed strong. But during these years, both she and Garth were married to other people. They cared for each other deeply but kept their relationship professional. Life moved on, and eventually, both of their marriages ended. When Garth and Trisha finally came together years later, it felt natural, like something meant to be. That's when Trisha began opening up about what Garth is really like at home, revealing truths that fans found surprising. Many people thought Garth Brooks was loud, bold, and full of energy all the time, but Trisha explained that the real Garth is more emotional, more sensitive, and more private than the world ever knew. When Trisha Yearwood began sharing honest stories about her husband, she did not do it to embarrass him or create drama. She did it to show that even someone as famous as Garth Brooks is still human, still vulnerable, and still learning. One of the first things she revealed was that Garth can be extremely hard on himself. She explained that people often assume he is full of confidence because he performs in front of thousands of fans, but behind the scenes, he is surprisingly self-critical. Trisha said Garth worries deeply about disappointing others. If he thinks he gave a weak performance, he will talk about it for hours. She explained that fame affects him more than people realize. She described times when they would sit together after a long concert, and while others celebrated, Garth would focus on the one small mistake he felt he made. According to Trisha, this intense self-pressure comes from his huge heart. He wants to give people the best version of himself every time. She said that Garth's passion is one of the reasons he became a legend, but it is also one of the things that weighs on him the most. Trisha revealed that when he comes home, he needs time to reset emotionally because he gives so much of himself on stage. Another truth she shared is that Garth is extremely sensitive. Many fans see him as strong and loud, but Trisha says he cries easily, especially when talking about family, friendships, or people he has lost. She said he feels deeply, and sometimes those emotions overwhelm him. She has told stories about Garth crying during movies, during songs, and even during conversations about their pets. For Trisha, his sensitive side is one of the reasons she loves him. She said he loves with his whole heart, and when he cares for someone, he cares for them completely. But she also admitted that this emotional depth can be difficult. When Garth is sad, he dives into that sadness. When he worries intensely. When he loves fully. Trisha said living with someone so emotional means every moment is powerful, meaningful, and sometimes exhausting. Another truth Trisha talked about is Garth's protective nature. She explained that Garth is always watching out for her because he sees danger everywhere. Even in regular daily life, he acts like a guard dog. When they walk through a crowd, he will step slightly in front of her. When they drive, he double-checks the doors, the mirrors, and everything around them. When someone comes to their home, he pays close attention to who they are and why they are there. Trisha said that Garth means well, but sometimes she finds his protective behavior a little too much. She once joked that Garth is like a big friendly bodyguard who also happens to be my husband. She also revealed that one of their biggest challenges as a couple is balancing their schedules and personal time. Before they got married, they both lived busy lives filled with travel, music, and work. After marriage, they had to learn how to adjust. Trisha talked about how Garth liked to spend almost all of his free time with her, but she enjoys having time alone to cook, read, or relax. She said they had arguments early in their marriage because they were trying to blend two very different personal habits. Trisha shared that Garth sometimes struggled with giving her space because he loves being around her so much. She explained that he is a together person, meaning he wants to do everything with her, eat together, watch TV together, run errands together, travel together, and even work together. Trisha said she appreciates that love, but she still needs moments when she can breathe alone. She revealed that they had several serious talks early in their marriage about boundaries and respect. Trisha said that what saved their relationship was open communication. She explained that Garth listens carefully when she expresses her feelings, and he tries hard to change when necessary. She also admitted that she had to learn to be more patient because Garth's desire for closeness comes from a place of love, not control. Another truth she shared is that they faced pressure from the world when they first became a couple. People talked about them constantly, judging their relationship, criticizing their timing, and questioning their loyalty. Trisha said this was one of the hardest periods of her life because she hated seeing Garth hurt by rumors. She revealed that Garth has a tender heart, and he was crushed by some of the things people said. But Trisha supported him, and together they grew stronger. She said that one of the truths about Garth that most people don't know is that he never wants to hurt anyone. His biggest fear is disappointing the people he loves. Hearing Trisha speak about these personal sides of Garth showed fans that behind the superstar image is a man who feels deeply, tries his best, and loves fully. As Trisha continued sharing stories about life with Garth, she opened up about how they learned to build a strong partnership despite their differences. One thing she revealed is that Garth is extremely routine-oriented. He likes doing things the same way every day. He wakes up early, checks the house, reads messages, plans his day, and prepares everything with careful attention. Trisha laughed in interviews, saying that if one piece of furniture is moved even an inch, Garth notices immediately. She explained that he likes order and structure because it helps him feel safe and in control. At first, this strict routine felt overwhelming to her because she is more relaxed and flexible. But over time, she understood that Garth's need for order comes from his childhood and his long career. He spent years touring, moving from city to city, living out of suitcases, so now he values stability. Trisha said their home is Garth's safe place, and he treats it with care, wanting everything to be peaceful and organized. Another truth she shared is that Garth is extremely generous. Trisha said he gives away more than people realize. He has helped families quietly, donated money without asking for attention, and supported friends through difficult times. Trisha told a story about how Garth once heard about a family in need and immediately drove out to help them, even though he had just returned home from a long trip. She said he does not do these things for praise. He does them because he feels responsible for others. Trisha revealed that Garth often says, "If you have more than you need, you build a longer table, not a higher fence." This generosity is one of the reasons she fell in love with him. But she also said that his giving nature sometimes worries her. She explained that he gives so much of himself, emotionally, financially, and physically, that she sometimes fears he will burn out. Trisha said she has had to remind him that it is okay to rest and it is okay to say no, even when his heart wants to help everyone. Trisha also shared that Garth is very family-oriented. He loves being a father, and he loves being part of a close family. When he and Trisha married, he introduced her to his daughters, and they built a strong bond. Trisha said one of the truths about Garth is that he is happiest when surrounded by the people he loves. He loves big family dinners, long conversations, and simple moments at home. She said they often sit on the porch together, talking about life, listening to the wind, or watching the sunset. Trisha explained that these quiet moments reveal the real Garth Brooks, the man behind the music. He is thoughtful, loving, loyal, and humble. She said Garth never acts like a superstar at home. He helps with chores, loves cooking breakfast, and enjoys small routines like feeding the dogs or watering plants. Trisha explained that people expect him to live like a celebrity, but he prefers a simple life. She said they shop for groceries like any normal couple and enjoy spending time at home instead of going out to fancy events. Another truth she revealed is that Garth struggles with slowing down. After decades of touring and performing, he finds it hard to relax. Trisha said that even on vacation, he plans activities, checks schedules, and stays busy. She joked that Garth is incapable of doing nothing. But she said they work on this together, finding balance between rest and activity. She also revealed that they sometimes disagree strongly, but always with love. Trisha said they are both stubborn, both passionate, and both emotional. When they argue honestly, but they always return to each other after cooling down. She said the secret to their marriage is simple: respect. They respect each other's differences, space, and needs. Trisha said that Garth tells her every day how much he loves her, and she believes him because he shows it through his actions. One of the most touching truths she shared is that Garth makes her feel safe. She said that life in the spotlight can be scary, but with Garth, she feels protected. Over the years, the truths that Trisha revealed about her husband show that he is not just a legend on stage, but also a deeply emotional, caring, protective, generous, and loving man off stage. She explained that loving Garth Brooks means loving someone who feels every emotion with his whole heart: joy, fear, sadness, excitement, and love.